Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some pretty big things to go over. We have some new rumors suggesting that we might be seeing a Generation 10 announcement in the Pokemon Presents for July the 22nd. We have some Nintendo Direct hints kind of for and against there being one this month, and then we also have some miscellaneous updates, some Switch 2 updates, stuff like that to go over. A lot of things to break down today, so if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, let's go over some quick Pokemon updates. We have a new character in Pokemon Unite as of today. We have Cerebi here tweeting out saying, Cerebi update, Pokemon Unite has added Alcremie as a playable character alongside its new holoware. I can't remember when this was announced, but yeah, I think it was like a couple of months ago or something like that. But yeah, Alcremie is now playable in Pokemon Unite. I haven't played Pokemon Unite in forever. I don't know if it's an attacker, a defender, or whatever. But either way, you can now play as the Generation 8 Pokemon, should I say. And then as well as that, we have a new update in Pokemon at TCG Pocket. We've got Cerebi here tweeting out saying, Cerebi update, the latest Pokemon TCG Pocket Wonder Pick event has begun. It adds new promo cards for Poipole and Stuffle, and new cosmetic items themed around Ultra Necrozma. So these are the new promo cards. So we obviously have the Poipole here, the Stuffle here. They don't offer anything different to their counterparts in Extra Dimensional Crisis. It's just obviously different artwork. You can get bonus picks, wonder picks. There's some kind of event, I guess, challenges to do. Like as always, you complete these, you get enough event shop tickets to buy all the accessories, and then these are the accessories down here. So you got coins, you got icons, you got Ultra Necrozma, card sleeves, playing mats, stuff like that. Just a normal Wonder Pick situation going on. Of course, it's going to be live from now until the 22nd of June. So those are all of the Pokemon updates. Coming up next, I wanted to quickly go over this post from Centro Leaks saying Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet appears to be using DLSS on the Nintendo Switch 2. Notice the shimmering around the glasses frames. So this wasn't like information I think that we knew about really, but apparently it is, I guess, a thing in the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Nintendo Switch 2 version. So DLSS is a technology available on the Nintendo Switch 2 in which the game renders at a low resolution, usually around 500p, and then uses AI to upscale it to 1440p. And then here's in video, and it says, never thought we would see Pokemon and DLS in the same sentence, yet here we are. It's great Game Freak is already getting familiar with the latest in technology. So I assume this is just a good thing. I'm not incredibly tech savvy and stuff, but I assume that if people are kind of like raving about it, then it's going to be good. So there's good and bad uses of AI, and this is definitely one of the good uses. So obviously it has a low resolution for the kind of images and stuff, and then it uses AI to upscale it, and it's a lot less demanding on the console. It can make the game look a lot better. It's just happy days, really. And then DLSS is not 500p. It's a range that depends on the target resolution and the level of quality you want, and it usually goes down one level for each jump in quality. This is correct. We don't know the real native resolution yet, was just an example. So yeah, I mean, it sounds good. Hopefully they kind of use this for Pokemon Generation 10 and Legends EA and stuff, and it makes it look a lot better without it having actually that resolution. It's just obviously been upscaled by AI. But yeah, this is something we didn't really know about for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, so it's quite a nice little thing to see for the Generation 9 games. Moving on, are we going to see a Generation 10 announcement in next month's Pokemon Presents? The fact that we've got the announcement of it 2 months early is kind of made everybody question what we are actually going to see in this Pokemon Presents, because they've never announced one 2 months before the actual date. It's a bit crazy. It's usually like a day before, sometimes it's like a week before, but 2 months is just unheard of. So a lot of people are thinking, well, hey, potentially they're getting this Presents announcement out there early because they want a lot of eyes on it. They're trying to get people knowing about this kind of presentation way before it goes live, maybe to get more eyes on it. And that might be because they're dropping something massive in terms of a new generation. I personally don't think it's going to happen, but we have had apparently rumors suggesting that we are going to see that, and that is going to be the case. We do have this post here from Soul Silver Art saying, so unprecedented that I've even seen a lot of people saying that they could announce Generation 10 in this Pokemon Presents, and that's why they gave us such an early heads up. I think this comes from a rumor that Generation 10 was planned to launch on Pokemon Day for the 30th anniversary. It would give us that kind of time frame as well, like July announcement, February release date, that's usually the kind of time span between an announcement and a game, barring obviously Legends EA and stuff, because they usually announce a game in February and then it comes out in like October, November time or whatever. So yeah, July to February is kind of similar time frame to that. But at the same time, it's just so unlikely. I mean, I don't know if I want to see Gen 10 announced in July, because obviously we've got all these different things coming out instead. So to throw Generation 10 into the ring would just kind of make it maybe too much. And they kind of need a massive bombshell to drop in that Pokemon Presents in February. I really don't think any of this will happen. But if it did, I also don't think a full reveal is possible because it would take away from Legends EA. At most, they would just say that the next gen of Pokemon is in development for 2026, but then again, why tell us 2 months in advance if it wasn't a big deal? Maybe because fans have been harassing the Pokemon company for over a year asking when will there be news, or maybe this is just a huge Champions reveal before Worlds plus Legends ZA Mega Evolutions. So yeah, I mean, I can see both sides of the argument, obviously. The fact that they've given us such a massive heads up that they've never done before means that there might be something special in this presentation. Or they maybe are just doing it because we haven't had any news like for the whole of 2024, and so maybe they're trying to make ground up about that. Who knows? For me, I think it would be silly to announce it. We have Pokemon Legends EA coming out in a few months. Obviously, they're going to want to promote that. We have Pokemon Champions, which still doesn't have a release date, and we don't really know. I mean, we don't know a ton about it, but I guess it's just a battle simulator later at the end of the day. So they're the 2 big games for like 2025, early 2026 that they're going to want to promote. Why would they throw Generation 10 into the mix with something which is something else to promote when it's not coming out for so long? Like, there might be a teaser, but at the end of the day, like, is it really worth it? But apparently there's been rumors circulating saying that we are going to be seeing this announcement in July. Like I say, personally, I don't think I'd want to see it because it'd just be way too much, and I want to get excited for Pokemon Day 2026. It's the 30th anniversary. It makes sense to announce it there. But we might get a teaser in July. They might do a full reveal in February, and then the game comes out in November. Like, that is generally something they could do. But for me, I think it's just going to be Legends EA Champions and then all the other mobile games like Pocket, Unite, Masters, Go, everything like that. But what do you think? Do you think we are going to see a reveal for Generation 10 in July, or do you think it just is crazy talk? As many people have suggested, we also know that a Generation 5 third-party remake was in the works for years, and it's even currently in development, according to redevelopment. We just don't know when this will be revealed. Logically, it'd be after Generation 10, but it's hard to place it then too. Could this Presents reveal the Generation 5 remake and when it would launch? Don't even get me started with all the reasons and potential teasers there were to Unova. I can't let myself be hurt again, but it would line up perfect with the special Unova TCG set. Realistically, I can't see it happening now though either, but it's always a possibility. I mean, it is the 15th year anniversary of Unova this year as well. We are hoping for some sort of remake soon. We know they were working on one. Whether they're still working on it or not is yet to be seen, but they were technically working on that. Like, that came from redevelopment, it came from Pyoro as well. So we know that they were working on one. It's just what happened to that Generation 5 game. So yeah, it could even be a Gen 5 game they announce in July. I mean, redevelopment has also spoken about a new app, which is probably going to get revealed. So you've got that. You've got, like I say, Legends EA Champions, all the other mobile games. So to throw something else into that is kind of crazy. And also, when would it come out as well? If they did announce a Generation 5 remake, we have Legends EA in October. Maybe they drop the Gen 5 remake in, like, I don't know, like April or May, and then Gen 10 comes out in November. But that's just 3 Pokemon games in like a year is kind of crazy, especially when we've had nothing in 2024. But I don't know, let me know your thoughts on this. It's definitely very interesting. Obviously, we don't have to wait a ton of time for this Presents. We know it is on the horizon, and it will be here before we know it. But it's going to be interesting if we do see like something big announced in this. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on it, about what we might be seeing in this Presents in July. Coming up next, let's talk Nintendo Direct. There has been many hints as to why we potentially might be seeing a Nintendo Direct this month for the Nintendo Switch 2. One of those being that we've seen one for the last 8 years. We have Stealth here tweeting out saying Nintendo typically has a Nintendo Direct of some kind in June. For the last few years, it aired in the second half of the month. So in 2017, we had one on the 13th of June, which of course is this week. 2018, we had it on the 12th of June. 2019, we had it on the 11th of June. 2021, we had it on the 15th of June. So that was kind of like middle-ish of June, which is obviously this week. And at the time I'm recording this, we haven't had any Nintendo Direct announcement. If we do get a Nintendo Direct announcement today, then you're probably not going to see this video because I'll obviously have to cut all this out. But from 2017 to 2021, we had a Nintendo Direct around the middle of June. Recently, though, in 2022, 2023, and 2024, we had one on the 28th of June, we had one on the 21st of June, and we also had one on the 18th of June as well. So quite kind of far-ish into the end of the month. So that's kind of like a hint for why we will be seeing a Nintendo Direct, because we always have. Again, this cycle could easily break. We always had Pokemon Presents in February and August. We didn't get one last August. It kind of broke the cycle. With Nintendo Directs, especially this quickly after the Switch 2 has come out, is it going to be too soon? Maybe the Direct gets pushed to July. Maybe that's why the Presents has been announced, because they want people to remember it before, obviously, the Direct gets announced and stuff. So that's kind of like as to why we might be seeing the Nintendo Direct. But then we have this post here as well on Comic Book saying new Nintendo Direct update does not have good news for fans. So a new Nintendo Direct doesn't appear to be happening anytime soon. So this is kind of against the potential Nintendo Direct. Again, it's been rumored that we're going to be seeing it next week from the obviously the 16th of June to the 20th of June. It's been rumored to be that week from like different sources and stuff. Nothing like concrete, just kind of shaky sources and stuff like that. Which is why it's getting like people a little bit more excited about it. But this is a reason as to why we won't be seeing a Nintendo Direct. So it says Nintendo fans hoping for a Nintendo Direct soon may want to give up on those hopes. The last Nintendo Direct happened on the 2nd of April 2025. This was the first Nintendo Direct focused on the Nintendo Switch 2. Since then, the console has come out and there has not been any follow-up Nintendo Direct, nor word of any on the horizon. Meanwhile, a new update from a prominent Nintendo insider seemingly confirms there haven't been even rumors of a new Nintendo Direct because there isn't one in a pipeline. So a big reason word of a Nintendo Direct happening before they announced happened so often because of the number of partners involved. It is not just Nintendo keeping the secret, but all of the developers and publishers participating, obviously the third-party developers, stuff like that. This is why we know most Nintendo Directs are happening before they are officially announced, because one of those kind of third-party leaks the information, and then obviously we get that from the insider, and then they kind of leak it to everyone. That said, there's been zero information of a new Nintendo Direct. What we do have is a confirmation from the aforementioned insider Nate the Hate that they have heard nothing about a Nintendo Direct. So this is why it's people are thinking that we won't be seeing a Nintendo Direct, because Nate the Hate has been like on it. He's been on the ball with Nintendo Directs every single time. He was right about the Nintendo Switch 2 release or announcement, and then he basically got like the last, I don't even know how many Nintendo Directs right, but he's on the ball. And he always hears something. So the fact that he hasn't heard anything and he's come out and said he's not heard anything doesn't bode well, because if there was a Nintendo Direct on the horizon, you'd like to think that Nate the Hate would have heard about it. So now this doesn't mean definitively there isn't a new Nintendo Direct on the horizon, but it certainly reduces the odds of that being the case. Nate the Hate has heard about many of the recent Nintendo Directs before they have happened, so the fact that they have heard nothing is not a great sign. And then it says, typically, though not every single year, Nintendo has a fairly substantial Nintendo Direct every summer, which we've already gone over, and with a new console to promote and a holiday 2025 lineup to reveal and highlight, Nintendo will almost certainly have another Nintendo Direct this summer, but it seems unlikely it will be any time in the very near future. Then it goes on to say, all of that said, remember to take everything here with a grain of salt, as all we have is unofficial information, which is laced with speculation. At the moment of publishing, Nintendo has not commented on the speculation and rumors surrounding the next Nintendo Direct, and there is no reason to expect it to do as much, but if it does, we will update this story accordingly, and then, yeah, yada yada yada, just whatever they're talking about, the latest information. So, yeah, the fact that Nate has come out and said that he's not heard anything about a Nintendo Direct doesn't bode well, because if there was one next week, he would have heard about it, because he usually leaks the information like a week before, sometimes a few days before, but yeah, it's usually like a week or two before we actually get the Nintendo Direct, saying that he's heard like rumblings or stuff about it. And when he says that, that's because these third-party developers have come out and said, well, not come out and said, but they've kind of like told him or whatever, or like one of his sources has been told that tells him, and then he obviously tells everyone. So yeah, it's even though we've had one like every single June for the last 8 years, it's I don't want to say it's unlikely we're going to get one, because, you know, they might have just had their mouths shut and they just haven't said anything to Nate. Maybe he's just not heard anything, but the fact that he hasn't heard anything it's not boding well, basically. But hopefully we get a Nintendo Direct anyway, because you'd like to think there'll be Legend ZA information in there, and and then obviously we'll get like more Legends EA information in July. But let me know your thoughts on all of this, though. Do you think we will or will not be seeing a Nintendo Direct in June? Again, I'm hopeful, but there's things that are kind of going for it and there's things that are going against it. But yeah, that's going to be everything for today's video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes. It does really help out. Like I say, leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we covered, the Nintendo Direct stuff. Do you think we're going to be seeing Generation 10 announced in July? And then also, what are your thoughts on the DLSS stuff and then everything else that we covered as well? Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, peace.